Hello everyone, and welcome back to Humble Acres. We're going to continue where we left off in the last video, and we're going to start reassembling the garage. You can see I got a little bit done already. That's because I forgot to record an intro, because I kind of was doing this already when I took it apart. I actually went and put these walls right up, so now we're going to go back in time. Alright, now the goal is to hit it that way so it lines up with the other wall perfect. You can see we need to tap it over about 8 inches or so. So that's what I'm doing. I think we're just gonna call it there. It's close enough for how square this old building is. 1.5 inches or an inch isn't gonna make a big difference. So I'm gonna get that corner screwed in and then get a triangular piece here. And then this should actually be pretty darn sturdy. Alright, so I laid these walls down here because I was running out of time to get them put up, and I wasn't 100% sure how to put them up either. So I have kind of a game plan now. This wall I need to pick up and actually turn around, and then we should be able to put it up, hopefully. Cross our fingers. So let's get to it. Now we need to get over here on this foundation. And we're going to need to remove these 3 braces here that are in the ground. Hopefully it's not too windy. I have some diagonal braces there that should hold them fine just until I get this one set, and then we'll have it more stable as well. So let's get these boards out of here and hopefully the wind won't pick up. All right, I got all the bracing off of here and I almost had a catastrophic error. Well, I kind of did. I was taking off the last bracing, and when I unscrewed it, both of the walls started to cave in. And it was just me holding on to it. It was the only thing holding it up. So I quickly got the screw back in, and now I re-embraced it a little more. And I got another brace on the outside over here connected to the trailer to kind of hold everything together. But it's pretty weak right now, so I'm gonna try quickly get this wall put in, and then it should be pretty darn sturdy. Alright, I got a brace on the other side, and it's hitting the back wall, so it should be okay. Take the tractor out. I need to tap it this way, about maybe 10 inches or so, and then we can connect it to the back wall, and then triangulate it, and we should be good. Alright, now that's out, we'll be able to pound the wall that way. I'm going to leave the tractor there just in case starts to get wobbly or something, I don't know. But let's start hitting it that way and hopefully we can get everything to line up right. I think we're gonna call it there. I didn't get the other side all the way knocked back, so now they actually match, so should be good. I think I actually got this one back further than the other wall, so it looks decent. It looks good. Just gotta get all these tied into this wall again, and then get some diagonal bracing through here, and that's gonna really help a lot. This right here, ground might not be the easiest. Try and nail this in. I don't want to use screws as much as possible just because they're expensive. Of course, this here makes it really difficult. You know what? It's already bending. These boards are so hard. It's incredible. Incredible. Alright, so we got this little wall addition done here. I just mimicked what was there before on the corner. So if you come look over here, this one had 2 studs right at the end, and then you can see the corner up here was 45-degree angled. So I did the same here. Put 2 studs on the end, and then I did a 45-degree angle on the end as well. And then I also tied it back into the wall a little bit too. So it makes it a little stronger on the corner. So now we just have to do the same thing to the other side, and then we can put the last wall up. Alright, so that wall's done, and I got that one over there done. We should be ready now to put the last wall in. I'm exhausted, and it's getting up to be about 90 degrees. So my support board on the other side for the forks is come to undone on one side. You see right there that all the screws have come out on that. And the other side, it also looks like it's kind of doing the same thing. And there's nothing really tying in this corner wall with the top beam. I guess I'm going to try to get that board screwed back on. Alright, so I laid it down as softly as I could. Now I'm going to try to brace some of this stuff back up. I don't know, hopefully it'll stay together now. Well, I don't know if I caught that on camera. The camera for some reason shut off, probably because it got too hot, of course. But this kind of just fell apart. The way these walls were connected was just terrible. They weren't very good. The supporting studs were next to it instead of underneath it, which is a big no-no because that doesn't support anything. You need a point load underneath this board to actually support everything. So I need to just rebuild this front wall. I'm going to use these sections that fell off, maybe, because it looks like they're pretty rotten anyway. So I don't know. This is definitely going to delay the whole thing now because I don't have the, well, I do have the time today to do this, but it's probably close to 100 degrees right now and I'm just dying out here. I really want to get this done, but now that all this fell apart, it's just not going to happen. So maybe I'll be out here tomorrow morning, but that's probably going to be it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so I got the little sidewalls to the big garage door here, and I've kind of, well, this one I've cleaned up. This one I haven't really gotten to yet, but this one I cleaned up. The let's see, which end is it? The 2x6 on the bottom, which is a sill plate, was on this side and it was actually gone. I must have lost it when I was moving it to the spot where I got it from, but I need to add that to the bottom. So I'm just going to use this board here that I have that's scrapped. And then the top, well, it's supposed to nail into the side of the beam right here, but I'm going to change that up a little bit. I'm probably going to add two 2x4s underneath this beam going down. So this really isn't going to hold any pressure on it, but we'll be able to nail into this. It's not actually rotten. The ends are just a little chewed up because of all the nails in them, but it's pretty decent, so we're just going to use it. So now we just got to stand this up here and get it nailed up. Yeah, that foundation isn't long enough on the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what to do at this point. This 4x4 post on the end here is actually sitting like right here. This foundation doesn't come out far enough for this opening. I'm sure the other side's the same because it comes out the same distance. I'm not really sure how to do that because I'm going to add those 2x4s on the inside of this, and that's just going to make them come out even further from here. So either I need to add more footing on here, which I don't want to do, or I just need to remake these sidewalls shorter and replace that beam and make it longer, which I kind of think I'm going to do. Because this beam is already falling off right here, if you can see. It's already coming off of there, which it's completely off of there. Yeah, half of it is already off, so I'm just going to need to get two more, let's see, those are probably 2x8s that are longer, and then I'll have a bigger opening as well. I should probably measure this and see what that opening is right there. So this opening in the concrete here is 17 feet, so an 18-foot door won't work on there. This garage originally had two garage doors on it, and it had a little foundation in the middle, but I got rid of it, and that's probably Let's see, what would that be? It'd probably be 2 8-foot doors is what was on here originally. But one big door is way nicer because, yeah, it just, you don't have that pole in the middle to have to worry about hitting. So this is probably going to have to end up being a 16-foot door just like what this is. But to get those posts to line up on the outside right, we're going to have to do something here. I might already have long enough 2x8s. I'm going to have to go look. I have some that are pretty long, so maybe I would have them. Probably need 18 footers. Yeah, I'll need 18 footers for that because these are 17. So yeah, that'd leave me a half foot on each side, which would be plenty. So I'm pretty much gonna have to rebuild this entire wall. The only part I'm gonna actually save is above this beam. All of that can pretty much be saved. The roof I'm probably not gonna be able to save either. I'm gonna have to redo it. Alright, so what I decided to do was, instead of putting the wall back where it was, most of these boards on the very end are pretty rotten anyway. So I decided just to set the 4x4 post at the very edge of the foundation. Over here, just line them up wherever they are, and then I'll just cut them all off right there. And that should make the corner way better. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do about the siding anyway, because I need to fill this in with something, and I don't have any more of this siding. So, I have to figure that out still, but at least that makes a nice edge. And then on the inside, I'm gonna put a 2x6 all the way down to the ground, probably green treated on the inside here, and then just kind of make my door fit. This I still need to get a longer beam for there to be able to fit this whole thing, but I like how this is going, and I'll be able to get at least these 2 little walls up today anyway. I won't be able to get that on there yet because I'm gonna need to get a new beam, but I like how this is. This is gonna be nice. And without putting that 2x6 on there, this will make a 17-foot door, which I know a 17-foot door isn't a standard size. I think they're like 16 and 18 are standard sizes, which I'm not planning on putting an overhead door on this right now anyway. Right now I plan on just putting, well, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do for a door yet. I keep thinking I might put like a swinging door on here, like 2 swinging doors, but those are going to be some pretty big doors. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on these sidewalls as well. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments on what I should do for doors. So, alright, we got the 2 little walls done. So they're all in there. I put some bracing across the bottom too to connect the 2 sill plates together. And the tops are tied in. So those should be good. Only thing I gotta do now is figure out what I'm gonna do about this. Yeah, I might have to go buy one. I don't think I have any that are that long now that I think about it, so gonna have to go and run to the store and get that. But at the same time, I'm also going to get all of the flooring for this too. I've been waiting like a month and a half to do that, and I'm glad I did, because when I originally priced it, it was gonna be $500 for just the treated lumber for the top of that, and now it's gonna be like $250, $200, $250, something like that. So I'm really glad I waited a month or month and a half. So anyway, we'll see you when I'm back at this. Alright, so it's been a few days, probably more like a week since I've worked on this, but I need to get this going here. I keep really putting it off, and we need to get this put back together now. And I got 2 new boards that are longer, so we can go a lot further over, almost the whole way, but not quite, because the new boards I got are 18 foot. So they're actually going to sit on top of these 4x4 posts, so we're going to have to notch them off on the top there and then just kind of integrate them into there. But that way they'll actually be supported on the concrete, and it was just, how it was put together before was just terrible. So I guess I'll get to measuring and cutting that, and we'll go from there. So I need to come down 7 1/4 underneath this 2x4. So we'll just measure down 7 1/4 right here, and that's where I need to cut it off. So I got the other 2x4 behind the 4x4 there, so now we have something to screw into the beam with, and I also got that done on the other side as well. So now we are ready to put the beam into place. Hopefully that stays up there. I need a couple more screws, but that's in there. So we got these all tied in, and the 2x4s are all cut off now. So we're good to go for that. Now I need to lift this back up so I can get that old beam off of there and then put my 2x4s on there. And then we should be able to set it up top. So thankfully, I put this 2x4 in above the beam that we need to cut out, so works really well. And it also helps that most of the nails are being pulled out anyway, so I kind of feel like if we just hammer on the top of this beam, it'll just fall out. So there we go. That is all done. It is all tied together. The 2x4 is on top there. Everything is tied together. So now the thing we need to do next is set this wall on top of here. Well, that's not going to work. My tractor can't lift it up high enough. The ground is a lot lower here than when we were over there and took it apart. So I can't lift it up high enough and get it straight up and down level. Alright, so the plan this time is I have the 4Runner in here with a strap attached to it going to the top of the rafter up there. So once I get it sat up here, I'm going to kind of ratchet it straight up and down, and hopefully these two boards right here will keep it from falling inward, and the tractor, well, the rope will keep it from falling outward. So then once I get it ratcheted up straight, then I can go in and screw it up and screw these boards into it and reinforce it so it won't fall. other big problem we have is it's shifted this way about 3 or 4 inches. Let's see what happens when we get rid of the tractor. Alright, the big problem now is that the whole wall is shifted this way too far. That 2x4 over there is unscrewed already. This is the only one that's not unscrewed yet. And I have a strap on both sides, one tied to the tractor, one tied to the 4Runner here in the top. So that should keep it from going back and forth. I didn't actually put any boards on the other side. Hopefully it won't fall. Alright, there's nothing holding it now. It should be able to be moved that way as long as I can do that somehow. Alright, so what I learned is you have to hit the studs that actually have weight on them. And as far as I can tell, there's 2 that have weight on them. So there's one that's doubled up over here and then one over here. So I just hit that one, and go back and forth, and it's moved a 1/4 inch. So we're getting somewhere. It's really slow going and boring, so I'll get back to you once it's in place. Alright, it is done. It is in place, everything's screwed down, it's supported. Well, these are really the only angle supports on it, but every 2x4 is screwed down to the other 2x4 that's screwed down to the beam that goes there. So it's pretty well secured right now. I'd love to be able to get a brace coming from the top of that peak to the top of this peak, but I honestly haven't really decided on what I'm going to do for the roof yet. I think what I'm going to do, the roof panels that I took off when I disassembled it, I think I'm going to just remove only the rafters from that, and I'm going to reassemble the roof just on here piece by piece. For one thing, or for one reason, is that was the trickiest part when I was taking it apart, was getting the roof off, especially in those 4 sections. And if you look at the side over here, there's no chance that I can get my tractor over there, and it's a lot further down, and I was already maxing out my loader on the tractor. So I'm just gonna have to piece the roof in piece by piece. So that's gonna come in a different video. I want to get this done soon because none of this wood in here is treated, and the more water that gets on it, the worse it's gonna get. So I need to get this enclosed, and I also want to get it enclosed before winter so I can store my tractor in here. And I need to get power dug from that meter over to here, and an electrical box in, and outlets and lights in here, and I need to finish the siding. I need to get it painted. I still have a lot to do with this building. This isn't going to be the last video you see on this, but this is going to be it for this video. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.